Okay. Let's see. It's Monday, October 27th. 6:12 in the morning. Let's see what's coming up today. Had another crazy dream, but I don't really want to talk about that. Been thinking about why I'm even doing these videos, and originally I was thinking that it would be cool to come back and look at these someday when I'm older, to reflect on this time, think about how much life has changed, hopefully. um, there's a lot going on in the world right now, and I'm doing these so I can sort of record my thoughts at this time, but also so that in the future, any of my family, kids, grandkids, anybody can come back to this time and hang out with me when I'm young Michael, youngish anyway. Um, so what's going on, everybody? What's going on, people of the future? Hope things are better than they are now. Things are pretty wild right now. In a couple days, all these SNAP benefits are going to stop for millions of people. That's food stamps, government assisted food. And some people are worried. Some people are really worried about what's going to happen. Our elected politicians are not concerned with actually making things better for people. Many are not. And they have not been for a long time. They've only cared about making sure they can keep getting money from corporate donors so that they can keep being in power. I will say one party is a little bit more disgusting than the other. The Democrats are very weak, very disappointing, but I am so disgusted by the Republicans. I've always been a registered independent. I never liked politics. I always hated it. But when Donald Trump got elected the first time, I decided I couldn't just not vote anymore. I didn't vote for forever. And the only times I've ever voted was against Donald Trump, the last two elections. And sure enough, he got elected. And it's looking more and more like he stole the election, actually stole it. But that's neither here nor there at this point. We're too deep into it. He is tearing our country apart. Our country has billions and billions of dollars to give to other countries, to millions of dollars to fund some ballroom that he's building. He's destroyed part of the White House and he's building some ballroom. We have millions and billions of dollars for our military and tax breaks for the rich and wealthy, but we don't have money for healthcare. We don't have money for our school systems. We don't have as much money for our infrastructure. We would rather spend it on bailing out Argentina or sending a ton of money over to Israel. You know, and now the digital ID state is moving closer and closer. People are really not ready for what the techno-feudalists are trying to implement. hopefully in the future, when some of you finally listen to this, things will have settled down. My generation will have fought against the digital ID. As a country, we're able to get money out of politics. That's my vision for the future. Unfortunately, it looks like things are going to have to get much, much worse before they ever get better. Um, you know, certain billionaires are really trying to push this idea of a digital ID so the government can track everything we do, literally everything we think. It really is looking very dystopian. You know, digital social credit score, a one world monetary system where everybody can be policed. Over in England or over in the UK, they're starting to crack down on freedom of speech. There is people are being arrested for posting videos or watching videos or doing things that the government doesn't want them to do. The government is supposed to serve people, but more and more we're watching that people of power, people in power, can't be trusted with it. But I think that there are answers to all these problems. There are solutions to a lot of these things that are coming up, and the government wants us to be afraid. Authoritarians want you to be afraid so that they can continue to divide and conquer, but it's going to take people rising together. And hopefully this begins to document, this little channel of videos begins to document how the American people starts rising up together. Unfortunately, in this time, everything is sensationalized and everything is optimized for rage baiting, and all the stories headlines are super sensationalized, and all the ugliness and darkness of the world is being constantly pushed in these media cycles. But so much good stuff is happening at the same time too. So many beautiful things are happening, and those don't get nearly as much shine or attention. I think a lot of the answers to the future are hidden in indigenous knowledge. There's this group of people, this group of Caucasian people who created a return to the land community. It's supposed to be an all-white community. And I think that they've been failing. I'm not sure exactly. I haven't been keeping up with it. But the idea of returning to the land, that's actually a really smart idea. It's through our deep connection to nature that we're going to figure these things out. Because so much of what we think we need in life, the cars, the houses, the money, the jewelry, the fancy everything, none of that shit's really important. The only things that are really valuable in life are friends, family, natural resources. You can create all this money and hoard all this money, but what does that mean anything if you can't have water, clean water? What's the point of having a million cars if there's no clean air or fueling system? Electric cars that could definitely change the toxins in the air. Clean energy. Donald Trump recently opened up one of the last massive, untouched wildlife preserves in Alaska for drilling. It's a serious problem. The greed, the corruption of this administration is so sad. It's heartbreaking to see people be this disconnected from Mother, the Great Mother. To be so selfish, so ignorant. You know, indigenous knowledge is going to save us. But it's probably going to take society breaking down for people to actually open themselves to it. And I'm really hoping society doesn't have to break too much. But in a lot of ways, it already is. I mean, I think we've had over 400 mass shootings this year in this country alone. Just in the last week, there was four mass shootings in a 24-hour period. Our young men are really struggling. I think it's 99 or 98% of mass shooters are young men or men. How can this be? If it were up to me, there would be no guns anywhere. We don't need them. We really don't. Oh, I need a gun to protect myself. Do you? If nobody had guns, nobody would need them. Protect yourself the old-fashioned way. There's a lot of men who don't know how to handle themselves in a fight without a gun. I'm hoping in the future things are better than this. We figured things out better. I'm hoping in the future that you guys are coming together better than the previous generations have. Unfortunately, there's a lot of really old people running everything right now. We need to get them up out of there. We need to get some younger people into office. We need to get money out of politics. We need to get this idea of the world being a commodity to be bought and sold. We need to dead that. When the world is a commodity, how poor we grow. When the world is a gift in motion, how rich we all become. We could get back to a barter system, a trade system, get back to smaller communities, get to clean energy, higher unity. It's a small group of people that's holding everyone back. I hate to say this, but super mediocre white men are a huge reason of why everything is being held back. Racist, mediocre white men are holding this country hostage, holding the world hostage. Trying to scrub our history, trying to minimize the pain of the Black and indigenous communities. The best thing we can do is arm ourselves with knowledge, wisdom, and love. You know, despite all these overwhelmingly difficult things, you still have to get up every day and grind it out. You know, if you can't find a way to fight, the best thing you can do is make yourself stronger physically and emotionally. Guard yourself from ugliness. In a couple days, millions of people, 42 million people, are going to lose their food stamps. People are pretty concerned how dark things are going to start getting. I'm Not sure how worried I am, but I am going to do some things to prepare just in case. One thing I will not be doing is buying a gun. I will not give in to fear of violence. I will refuse to buy a gun. I never have and I never will. We live in a pretty good area. I'm not as worried about that here, but I know that there are some people that can't afford that. So I don't begrudge anybody who protects themselves with a weapon when that's how this world operates. But it's definitely my dream and hope that we can put the guns behind us someday, that we can actually evolve as a society. What time is it? Well, I think that's enough for today. Well, thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. Hopefully, I'm still around in the future. But if not, I love you all. Keep fighting. Peace.